Cette réunion est diffusée en direct. Avec plaisir. Let's get started. Welcome everybody to the Marketing Commandos show. We do that room, that live episode every single day. Not every single week, every single day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And today I've got a little special surprise that I will introduce you in a few minutes. But hey, let's get started with the topic of today's episode, which is a bit different than the others. We talked a lot about content, marketing, and how to create content that scale and make sure that it suits to your business strategy. Today, we are going to talk about something a bit different, but that's, I would say, even more important than that, which is how to create a working and a great sales funnel. Because content is only a part of the process. You need all the other tools, all the other things installed to make sure it works. And today we're going to talk about how I'm going to share the screen when I'm introducing the subject, how you can make a six-figure sales funnel easily without having all the steps, doing all the mistakes that I've done. And I want to make sure that you guys don't do the same mistakes as I did, because I fucked up a lot. So we are going to start right now. But first, quick introduction. Maybe you don't know who I am. I am Gabriel Judy. I'm the founder and CEO of Judy Media and Judy Production. I make sure that all the content is top-notch, top level, and that you make a lot of money out of it, and that you can monetize a business online and make a ton of money. That's basically what I do. Now, let's get back to the subject. How to make a six-figure sales funnel easily. But first, remember, subscribe, ping the room on Clubhouse. If you're on Clubhouse, we are also running this show with a Clubhouse room. I don't know if you guys can see that. Same time, every day, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And in the future, I'm going to introduce guests to the Clubhouse room, and you guys, you listeners, you guys that are watching this live can ask your questions live and get them answered. That's something I'm going to do in the future. So stay tuned, subscribe now, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hey, quickly, let's start right into it. The subject number one. So what is a sales funnel and how can you use it to grow your business? And that's a great question, because when I was trying to create, I went into the online space, and I had a business and I was like, hey, man, like my goal is to make sure that my customers get the best results as possible. That's what I wanted to do. And I was always like, what is the best way to do that? And one of the ways I tried to do that was to create a website. And I really quickly discovered that I got no results, or the results I got were mediocre. And I wanted to improve that ability to deliver results to my customers. And that's when I discovered sales funnels. Sales funnels are basically your sales process on the internet. And I really struggled at the beginning to understand that idea. I was like, hey, that seems complicated. That seems different. But after that, after a lot of mistakes I made, I figured out a few things. And I'm going to share those few things with you on what is the sales funnel and how we can use it to grow your business. So first thing I figured out was, hey, you need to eliminate all the distraction. Maybe I did that. No, I didn't put that on the slide, but you need to eliminate all the distractions. You need to have one action only. The main difference between a website and a sales funnel is, okay, a sales funnel is focused on having one call to action. On your website, you can go see the about page. You have 10 other pages to make the customer go somewhere. But when you do that, you'll lose their attention and you do not captivate them. The thing is, with a sales funnel on the internet, you have one call to action and one action only that you make them do. And that helps a lot. That actually brings sales to a whole new level, because you lose a ton of people when you put them on the website, because a confused mind never makes a decision. And if you give them a ton of possibilities to go around, they're confused. They don't know what to do. If you give them one only thing to do, you're going to get extreme results. Number two thing I figured out was, hey, you can do upsells and downsells, because if you have a linear sales process, that's basically, hey, when this happened, next step is that, and next step is that one. You can have a predictable system and you're able to test it. And one of the things that I saw worked really well were upsells and downsells. And I'm pretty sure that if you bought some products or oftentimes some educational content on the internet from some guy, oftentimes what you're going to see is that, hey, you have a sales page, you buy the first thing, and then they try to upsell you on something else. Well, that thing is incredible because that helps you to up the value of each customer. Because now, before you had just had the customer buy one product at, let's say, $24. Now, they also buy another thing that maybe is 3 times the price of the first product. So you 4x your profits by just adding one page to your sales funnel. So upsells and downsells are a huge thing to do. That's incredibly useful. And also a third thing I figured out was that you need to have an email sequence to go accordingly, because people still will drop from the pages. They will not go through your whole process. But what's interesting is you can make them go back to that page if you have the right email sequence in combination with the sales funnel that you're having. So it's incredibly important. And with all those tips and all those things I just talked to you about, now I knew how to make a page that makes sales and that works. And I learned how to help my customers even more. And also to make sure I get results, great results as well. And I transfer that to my customers. So that's what I got from the little story. Now, guys, it's time to a new section to introduce you to our guest. I'm going to introduce my guest really quickly. First time we are doing that on the Marketing Commandos show. So I'm going to quickly introduce herself. Zahana Asokan, 16 years old entrepreneur with Uncle G right here, Grant Cardone. She does the same thing I do, which is basically help businesses grow their presence and revenue with online marketing. And for me, to be honest, she's a great source of inspiration because I started at the same age that she did pretty much. And I see a lot of inspiration through that. That really helps me to see like, hey, people, even at a young age, some people really want to do great things. So I'm gonna stop the screen share for a minute to introduce you to our guest, Zahana. What's up, Zahana? You can unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot that for a second.
That helps to hear you. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Hey, doing incredible. Hey, don't forget to unmute yourself on the Clubhouse as well so Lee can hear you as well. That would be unfortunate. That way we can see, hey, if we have some technical issues or not.
Is it working?
Okay,
it's working pretty well.
Yeah, it seems to be working. Let's go with that. Maybe put your, how do you say that? Your earbuds are for the phone, so I cannot hear myself 2 times.
I think it's connected. It should be connected. What if I turn the volume down on my laptop?
Maybe we can do that. No problem. Maybe that's me. Hey, technical issues, guys. We figure it out. We make sure it works. No problem.
Is that better?
That's not, but I think that's me. Oftentimes my phone does that as well. Let's go talk again to see.
It can work. You cut out for a second.
Oh, that seems to be working. I'm just hearing you there. Yeah, that's great. Hey, guys, with new things, when you commit first and get things coming up your way, that's a great lesson here. And that's actually going to be a great segue for the things I want to talk about with you, Zahana, which is, hey, you need to commit first and figure out the rest later. I didn't wait for having everything perfectly dialed up and, hey, everything is working perfectly. But, hey, we still deliver some value. And that's actually something that's one of the things that truly inspires me the most out of you, Zahana, is basically the fact that, hey, at such a young age, you are doing massive actions and going in the right directions. And you just have that thing of committing first. And then, like numbers of times we discussed of hey, I'm doing that thing, but you have no idea how to do it. And you still figure out a way to do that. And that's just a skill, a really incredible skill that not a lot of people are having.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I try to tell that a lot to the people that I know, like my friends or people on Instagram. I'm like, guys, you got to actually do it.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you can get stuck in a cycle of constant, like never ending learning. Like, I need to know this, I need to know this, I need to know this. And then you're never ready.
Exactly. Because as you say, hey, people think they are never ready enough. They think, oh, I just need to learn that new thing. They figure out that, hey, I maybe need to learn that thing. And then if you are smart enough to figure out that, hey, man, you're never going to know it all. So don't try to do that because you're going to just waste a huge amount of time that you can be using to actually do the thing. And when you do the thing, that's actually when you learn it the most, because you can learn the best processes. Everything that I ever learned, I always had to take it. And after applying it, I really figured out how it can really work well. So it always has to go back to actions, always.
100% agree.
Yeah, so I prepared a few questions for you to a bit direct the conversation. So, hey, first question I got for you is, why do you think the young generations have an edge on how to deliver results online? Because let's face it, we have an edge, right?
I think it's a big part because we grew up with it. And then we also know what it's like to fully experience the online sort of world as a consumer. So we sort of know what people are looking for and what younger people like or the people that we're trying to target will look at social media or look at just online in general. But I think a big part of it is because we grew up with it and we're very accustomed to it.
Yeah, I see that. I see that as well. And that's a great question I got like recently. I don't know if you're into that thing or not. I'm extremely curious about that all new metaverse web 3.0 thing. I don't know, like did you like try to learn a bit about it?
I intend to. I don't know too much about it right now, but I think I should. And I think I should try and learn about it because I really do think it's going to be up and coming.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the things that was funny to me that I think may happen is that where we are pretty much born into that universe and we just figured out, as you told, how to use social media and how it can go into our daily routine. And our parents look at us like we are not natural with that. And I thought about that and I was like, man, it's pretty much going to be the same thing with Web 3.0, that metaverse thing. I think a lot of us, our generation, are going to be totally lost on that. And our children's, the next generation, will just be in there like, hey, dad, mom, like, what the hell? It's simple. And we are going to be the guys that will try to figure it out. Don't you think?
I completely agree. I think that it's going to go like that for a long time because it's much easier to adapt to something when you're a kid because you're still learning. So I think that's a really big part of it. Like if you grow up with it, it's much easier to sort of understand and learn and grow with it.
Oh yeah, definitely, and I think that's going to be like a really funny situation to be in. To finally have the table turns. Now we are going to be the
We're going to be the
ignorant
people that
guys.
we called, how like we are like, oh, you're so old, you use Facebook. We're going to be those people.
We are going to be the boomers. Damn. Oh no, oh no! But the time is going to come, and maybe we're going to live long enough to have another big thing like that change our lives again. We don't know. But I'm excited about that.
Me too. I think there are big things coming, and I think it's going to be really, really good in terms of change and business.
Oh yeah, definitely in business. Now, how do you think it's going to apply? Do you have an idea? Maybe you have an idea on how it can change the business world, because it basically, from what I'm understanding, is a whole new creation of a new world where all the things are to right. Basically, let me show you to you guys how I understand it. This is, I give you a piece of blank paper. I give you that. I give you that. I give you a pen and I say, hey, write the new rules of how this new world will fundamentally work. So you can pretty much do whatever you want. And businesses, I think, can get their piece of that. What do you think how do you think in businesses, maybe if you have an idea, can take advantage of that opportunity that's coming?
I think it'll be like another social media platform almost, and another way to reach people, another way to target consumers. So I think they'll really use it and think about how they can manipulate sounds bad. Use the system to get more clients, get more customers, and reach more people.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that
But
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I haven't learned too much about it, so that's generally what I think it's going to be like. But there may be other specifics that I have not looked into yet.
Hey, no problem. That's just like here we're just having a little discussion. So next question, damn, I got for you is, what do you see working at the moment, content-wise? Like I see you're doing a lot of TikToks, a lot of short video content, like. And as I told you in the last questions, we have an edge, we have an idea, a point of view of, hey, understanding what's working. Do you see anything specific working right now?
That's an interesting question because I was thinking about that the other day because I know that, like purely entertainment videos, like stuff that is funny, they usually do a lot better than just promotional videos. So I try and like I did a little testing actually. I would post different things. And so I posted something that was like purely, it wasn't related to business at all. It was just here it is. Hopefully it's funny. I don't know. So, but it did a lot better because people like that stuff more. So what I try and do is usually in my promotional videos, I try and inject a little bit of comedy or something that people who don't know business might find entertaining anyway. So I find that works a lot. So I get a decent amount of views on each platform. I use Facebook, Instagram. I post them on YouTube. Go follow those, by the way.
No problem, I will for sure. I think I follow you on most, maybe not on YouTube because I'm very selective of who I follow, but I'm gonna give you one. No problem.
No. I'm talking to the people listening on the YouTube
live, yeah,
live,
definitely.
or the people listening to the real replays. Got to take any chance you can to promote.
Oh yeah, definitely. Go follow the Hannah. That's maybe one of the things I should have been saying in the first place. But hey, definitely, and like entertainment is definitely something that you should do and that you should invest into your videos. Actually, one of the three things I think are working the best is entertainment is one of them. If you want to make content that's working, you have to make either three of those things: content that is entertaining, content that is informative, or content that is relatable. And
yes,
sometimes
exactly.
you can mix a bit of those, you know what I mean? So maybe you can do a bit of information. People make terms like infotainment or something like that, but hey, the idea is like you give information, you teach about something, that maybe you do it in a funny way. Or maybe if you want to do something relatable, a great example is memes, like for example targeted to a specific situations, like for example me, I go to the gym and I face a specific situation at the gym, and maybe I see a meme that represent that, and I'm like, hey, I understand that. That's relatable. That happens to me as well. And even maybe it can be entertaining, funny too. So that's a plus, you know. But definitely, making sure that your content is entertaining is a huge plus. A huge plus to making sure that people actually listen and watch your content.
And I see a lot of that actually. I see because I've met different business owners, especially at the Cardone conferences. So yes. I can definitely see how some people are posting relatable content based on their niche and based on what they're doing. And then I can see people posting more informative content like you, right? So, and then people who sort of mix, right? And that I'm trying to do sort of a mix because I've tried doing purely informative and that doesn't do as well. But then I also want to promote my business and promote myself. So I try and I'm still figuring it out. It'll go fine.
Yeah, no problem. And always committing first and figuring out the rest later. That's actually the thing, because, and I talked about that in previous episode, which is you only know if it works if you test it enough. If you practice and you make enough content, you can then see, hey, that kind of content works. I'm going to do the thing like that. One of the things that I saw was working extremely well at this moment, and I had no idea how great it was. And I'm going to tell you to do that as well. I don't know if you're doing it, is YouTube Shorts. Guys, YouTube Shorts are the thing. I just took a video that I put, a reel that I did on Instagram actually, And I posted it on YouTube short because I was like, hey, I'm not posting there. You know what? Whatever. Let's post it there as well. And it got, usually, I'm like having a small channel. I had 70 followers at the time, 70 followers. And I made like maybe 1-2 views per videos average before I was starting to post aggressively. I posted this video. In one day, I got 800 views. One day. 800 views and 4 subscribers, which is basically what I did in a year before that. So I was like, oh. And like just before this live, actually, I looked at it, I posted because I saw the kind of content that was working, kind of motivational, inspirational kind of videos. I do the same thing because I go to the gym. I think I posted that something I had on Instagram that was sitting as well. I was just like, hey, let's try this out on YouTube. First day, got nothing. And right now, I'm just getting notifications. I'm getting hundreds of views right now.
That's interesting too, because I also post my TikToks and Reels to YouTube Shorts, and I get like a few. It takes a bit. It takes like
Yes.
24 hours ish, and then like you get like 1 or 2 in the first 24 hours, and then after that it's like 1,000.
Yes,
2,000.
that exactly like me. Like I posted. I look a few hours later. I'm like, it's not gonna work that well. And then one day later, you wake up and you're like, oh, now it's working pretty good.
Now it's working.
Exactly. So yeah, definitely try YouTube Shorts, guys. That's definitely. I always say to have set in stone processes that will always work. But if you can surf on the wave that's working at the moment, don't put your whole strategy on that. That's what I'm saying. But hey, if you can use those things when they are working, hey, I mean, I'm taking it.
And you get subscribers off of it too.
Exactly.
Like I get leads, I get comments. It's a win-win. If you're already posting, why not just add another platform?
Exactly. And so last little questions I got for you, because you're going to have to go to school right now because you're still in school. And if you have one thing that you want to leave, one message, one tip, one thing that you want to leave the audience with, what would that be?
If you're thinking of starting, you should just start now, because in a month or so, I think this goes with everything that you want to do to improve your life too. Like you are like, oh, I want to start. I don't want to start. I want to start. And then a month later, you're like, why didn't I just start? Like, look how far I could have been if I had just started then. Right. And it's like a snowball effect. Like you just keep on, no, not right word. You just keep on doing it. And then eventually it's like a year or two. And you're like, oh, if I had started 2 years back, I would have been in huge places by now. So make today your starting point and just go from there, is what I want to say.
Definitely. Hey, when is the best time to plant a tree? It was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I really love the time that you spent, the value that we shared. And hey, I hope I see you soon and that the audience got some huge value out of that.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Have a great day.
You too.
That was lovely. That was great. I love to do those interviews. I hope I'm going to make sure, guys, that happens as well. That I'm going to bring tons of people like that with huge experience, with interesting situations, because that we can learn from those people and we can learn a lot from their hand. So I'm really happy that we did that. And quick refresh for the room. We do that every single day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you go to the Clubhouse Room if you want to, in the future, ask your questions live. And make sure you subscribe to the live show on YouTube as well, so you can see it and you can see my pretty face, which is, hey, why not? Why not see my pretty face? Let's go. I'm going to go back on to the next section, which is going to be Q&A time. I picked up a few questions, frequently asked questions about sales funnels. Today's topic is mainly sales funnels. So I wanted to pick a few questions that I see a lot of people are asking commonly and answer them right now, so you don't have to look for the answers. Let's go. Question number 1. Do I need a sales funnel? And that's important to figure out. First, do I need a sales funnel? I'm going to ask you a question. Do you need more customers? If the answer is yes, you should definitely look into getting a sales funnel, because that's basically a way that's incredibly efficient to get leads, sales, whether it's a product or services, registrations for a webinar. Those are the best way to do it. So you should definitely do that if you want to grow your business. Question number 2. How does social media integrate with sales funnel? That's a great question because, hey, I just talked about a lot of those pieces before. Now, how does that new piece of the puzzle integrate seamlessly with that? Social media, if you want to think about it that way, is basically the way to grab the attention of your people. It's the top of your funnel, And the goal is to grab as many people in there. So at the end, you can get as much as possible, right? So where does social media take place? It takes place in the beginning of the sales funnel. And that's why it's incredibly important to get a lot of attention out there so you can have as many people in your funnel as possible. Then, last question. What funnel should I build first? And that's a question that's pretty hard to answer because it depends on your situation. But the thing is, you should focus on having something that can bring you either leads, depends on your situation again, but the thing is you need to focus on having a funnel, focus on having one, building that one funnel and tweaking it until it works. Because when you follow processes that works, especially with sales funnels, that are pretty much, I would say templates that you can follow that are pretty much sure to work. And then you just have to test it out and see, hey, what can I tweak? What can I adjust to make it better? So what I would advise you is, depending on your situation, either pick something that generates leads, generates sales, if you're an e-commerce business, for example, or something that generates webinar registration or seminar registration. That's an hard word to say when you're French. Depends on your situation, but take one, pick one, and make sure that you tweak it again and again and again until it hits significant results. That's what I would advise you to do. Okay, now we're done with the questions. Hope they got answered. And I'm going to go into the next step of today's episode. A quick refresh. We do that room, that Clubhouse room. That's live every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we talk about all the things that you need to know in order to have an incredibly solid marketing strategy today at the Marketing Commandos show. Now, I want to talk about the top 3 mistakes people make when they're creating a sales funnel. Because I did a lot. I tried to create my first sales funnels in the past, and I thought, hey, that's just another sales page. That's just another website that's a bit different looking. That's easy. Well, I lost a lot of time and money into understanding how those works and how you can use them at the best of their abilities. So that was a problem. But I took some time, and after that, I learned a few things, and also I learned a few mistakes that you guys should avoid. So I'm going to share with you guys those mistakes that I learned along the way, so you don't do them, because that costed me a lot of time and money. So let's get after it. Mistake number 1 was I was trying to make it look like a website. I took my sales funnel in my little ClickFunnels account, and I was like, okay, let's put the home bar, let's put all the objections and all the sections that you can go to. It wasn't working really well, because websites and sales funnels are 2 different kind of pages, and are very different and have a different purpose. A website is more to drive traffic and make sure people discover you and they can surf around and see pretty much everything that you got. That's basically your, how do you say that? I don't have the word in English, but basically the place where you stock all your things and people can go around and check it out by themselves. But the sales funnel, the sales page, on the other hand, is focused on getting one and one action only: conversion. Whether it's convert to a lead, convert a sale, it's only one action, and it's focused for that. So make sure you use those for the right time, because they're not the same. Mistake number 2 I did was I was making it too complicated. When you try to learn, you learn all the school things, tips and tricks, you want to apply them all. But the thing is, and I have a bad tendency of doing that, is oftentimes I make it too complicated. I'm like, okay, let's have 10 upsells, and if they don't take that upsell, I'm going to go into that one. And if they don't do that, then I go there and I've got 10 different email sequences and 100 different options and pages. Too complicated. Simple works for a reason. Simple works for a reason. So stick to a simple proven process and make sure that you master it as much as you possibly can. And after that, when the simple process is proven and tested, maybe you can tweak it a bit. And that's how you may add a bit of complexity. But remember, don't make it too complicated, especially in the beginning. When you have experience, you know it's not complicated anymore because you know how it works. But at the beginning, go with the proven system, simple, that works. And you make it work for you. That was a mistake I did. Mistake number 2 was I wasn't having a clear call to action. That happens in real life too. You know, when you get those salespeople and they don't seem to ask you for closing the sale, closing the deal, those kind of guys. It's the same on the internet. If you do not have a clear one action, you need to click there to register, do that thing, buy my product, do that thing. If you do not have a clear call to action and people don't figure out, hey, what is he trying to tell me? Even if you don't have a clear page in general, if they look at your page and in 2 seconds they cannot tell what you are trying to make them do, you have a problem. It needs to be crystal clear. One action, simple, and it needs to be a clear CTA. So those were the 3 mistakes that I did. And I also got a bonus one for you guys because I always like to throw some bonuses at you. And it was that I wasn't following up, because you can have an incredibly working sales funnel if you do not have the structure around it that can support to bring the people that drop out from the funnel, as I talked about previously. You're maybe going to miss, I would say, 40 to maybe 50% of your sales. Actually, the follow-up is huge. Like, it's a huge deal. It's as important as the pages, maybe even more important as the pages that you just built. So make sure you have a solid follow-up sequence. It can be email sequence, that's the most common one, but it can also be text messages, messenger campaign as well. Or you can also have phone campaigns. For example, if you have like a more high ticket offer, then maybe you have a fewer number of leads that are coming up through the funnel. Maybe a great idea would be to follow them up on the phone as well. That's a great idea as well. So make sure you have a solid follow-up strategy that can go with your funnel as well. Now, I'm going into the next step, but first, quick refresh of the room. Remember, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are doing that every day, every single day, every day, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are talking about how you can blow up your business online with online marketing on the Marketing Commandos show. Now, let's go to the next step. Next step I'm going to talk about is a process that I figured out on how to create a sales funnel that brings results from scratch. And I saw here Jose on the Clubhouse. I'm sorry, I'm not going to bring people up on the room for now because I got a schedule and I need to follow and things to do. But I promise you that in the future, I'm going to dedicate a specific section when you guys can jump on and ask your questions. That's definitely something I want to do in the future, my brother. Now, how to create a sales funnel that brings results from scratch. How do you start? Where do you start? And what do you do? And to be honest, I paid thousands of dollars, if I may be honest, in mistakes, time, and to learn how to make that simple process. Because as I talked to you about in the previous section, simple works. And that's incredibly important that you have a simple process that works. And that's what I'm going to make you do right now. Is going to be very tactical, so I'm going to tell you exactly step by step how to do that. I may not be able to support visually the thing, but hey, just follow the process and you will be good. And because after a lot of trial and error, I basically figured out that simple process, and I'm going to share that with you guys. Step number one of the process. There are a lot of, how do you say that, softwares, things that people use to create funnels. I like to go with a good old trusty ClickFunnels. So go first step, if you want to create your first funnel from scratch, you go to clickfunnels.com. So you go to ClickFunnels. Step number 2, you sign up and create a funnel. So you create a funnel, you're on that. First step is you choose the right funnel for you. So maybe generating leads, sales, webinar registrations. It depends on your case again, but pick one and pick up. I think that's the next step. Pick up a template. So you pick one and then you pick up a template. They have, I would say, around like 20, maybe 30 templates by funnel that are already made for you and that you can pick up. So you pick up those templates because again, they are simple and they are proven to work. So you pick up those templates and then you fill it up with your content. Simple as that. So you change the video, you change the text, and when you are done with that, you publish it. Simple as that. You publish it. And then next step is to drive traffic to it. Now, I may, if I had to add another step, which basically what you're going to do. So now you created your funnel. You have an idea. Okay, I created a funnel step by step, really simple. So maybe I'm going to go over them quickly again. So you go to ClickFunnels, then you sign up, create a funnel, choose the right funnel that's for you. Then you pick up a template, you fill it up with your content, you publish it, and you drive traffic to it. So you can drive traffic for it from a Facebook group, social media, ads, whatever you want. The thing is, when you drive traffic to it, you're going to be able to, as I told you, you commit first and then you figure it out later. You're going to see, okay, where is it broken? Because I can guarantee you that in the first try, you're not going to get it right. Even if I help you to avoid mistakes, you're going to have to figure out and tweak the process, tweak the funnel to make it work for you. So that's why you need to drive traffic on it to see, hey, where is it broken? Should I change the headline? Maybe I can put a better video. Maybe I can do that again. Maybe I need to change the text or the bottom. And then you can really test and go and see, okay, what should I change? What is working? What it's not? But you can only test that if you drive traffic to it. So that's what you should do. That's my little step-by-step process to create your first funnel. And that will help you to get started and get your first result so that ultimately you can grow your business online. Now, we're coming to the end of the show. And you know what? Maybe I can do that. Jose, I want to satisfy you. I want to make sure that you get your questions answered. So after this section, if we got time, and we got time, I'm going to bring you on stage and ask my boy, Canadian Jose, what question he got. But first, let's finish the live session on that. So final thoughts. Let's go over the things that we talked about today. One, a sales funnel. That's your roadmap to the sale online. You really need one. It's like if you're trying to sell something to somebody in real life and you don't have a sales process. It's going to be all over the place and you're not going to have sustainable results and you're not going to be able to improve them. That's the worst thing, because if you do not have a step-by-step process, where do you know and when do you know it's having a problem? What should you fix? You basically don't know because you're all over the place. So you need a sales funnel because they work extremely well for every businesses that are out there. Whatever your situation is, you need one. And you need to have one that's simple and that works for you. Next thing that we talked about, hey, don't try to make it look like a website. It has a different goal. Don't try to make it look complicated. Don't try to make it complicated because that's not the purpose of a sales funnel. A sales funnel is a page that's on the internet. It's not the same thing as a website. It's a page that's on the internet that's made specifically for the person that's on that page to take one action and one action only. Now you got to decide what action you want to make them do. But the idea is it's not a website. A website and a sales funnel, a sales page, are two different things that you need to differentiate. And last thing that we talked about is that sales funnel are one piece of the puzzle. Make sure that the rest of the machine is well oiled. As I talked about a lot in previous episodes, we talked a lot about on how to create content massively and make sure that you have that top of the funnel that's big and that you're getting a lot of traffic in there. But that's one piece of the puzzle. You can have, again, you can have an incredible sales funnel in the middle of your funnel, but if you do not have traffic that's coming, you're not going to get great results because you do not have traffic. And the same way around, if you have a lot of traffic coming into God knows where, and that you will not get results as well. So that's why it's all a machine. with a lot of little pieces, and you need to make sure all the pieces are in their right places and they are working at the maximum of their capacity. So that's what we talked about today. Make sure you share the stream to somebody that wants to take his business to the next level. And I'm going to open it to some questions on the Clubhouse. So if you want to join the Clubhouse, remember we do that every single day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to put out my earphones so everybody can hear you on YouTube, my brother. Okay, let's go. Hey, Jose, what's up?
Loved it. Question for you, Gabriel.
Let's go.
So when you speak of the landing page, something I've built already, and you said the message has to be simple. How do you make the message simple, still driving a call to action, and not always explaining thoroughly what it is that you do? You know what I mean? Sometimes there's a shortage of words, you know?
I get it. I understand. Yeah. So basically it's, hey, how do you make sure on that page that the people that are looking at that page understand that, hey, this is a simple call to action, right? Hello, Jose? Oh, seems like I'm bugging out.
Because like, let's just say I do call answering, right? So it's simple call answering. But how do I explain my service and at the same time still how do I explain my service and at the same time still drive like a strong call to action that catches somebody's attention?
I see that. What I would say the best way to do that is, first, I talked about that in a live at some point. You need to, like, you know what? The best way to do that is maybe you can send me your page and in 2 seconds, I got to really understand what it is all about. And even the same thing for like the sales letter that you're writing. Under that, it needs to be extremely clear and straight to the point. If I do not understand that in 2 seconds, now, not from your eye, but your customer's eye, because, you know, you got to take in count that they are buying. If your customer doesn't understand in 2 seconds what this is all about, what they are looking at, it's not clear enough. So that's what you should do. And oftentimes we do that when we practice on the room with you and Rebecca. You know, we cut out some words, and I had to do that before because it's too much. It's too complicated. You have to make it simple and go straight to the point. So if that's not clear in 2 seconds and people cannot understand what they are looking at, it's too complicated. You should always look at a way to put it in less words, more clearer, and to make sure it's straight to the point.
Yeah, I'll send it to you so you can have a look. And also, how do you customize the mobile view so that it still looks good? Because on mobile, it's tough to play with it in ClickFunnels. I don't know if you have that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I had the situation too, and I really struggled. I basically always did those funnels into the you know, it's always like that. You do them into the desktop view, it looks really well, and then you see, oh, there is a mobile button, and you click on it, and it looks horrendous. I understand that, man.
And if you try to adjust it on mobile, it changes the desktop one too, right?
Exactly. So I'm going to share with you a tip because I ask people at ClickFunnels for that questions. So I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that. For you guys on live, this is a bit technical, but stay with me. What you're going to do basically is that you're going to, you know, you have sections in ClickFunnels, right? You have sections, rows, and contents.
Yes.
So the sections are in green. What you're going to do is that you're going to go on the desktop view. You copy and paste each sections, and then you make sure you have one section for mobile view and one sections, the same section, but you copy and paste it for the desktop view. So you take section 1, you copy and paste it. You make one that's only for desktop and one for only mobile. And then basically you can, like, because it's the same content at the beginning, you have your headline, for example. If that's a section with your headline, you just go onto your mobile view, and then you have that section that's independent. So it's the same content as the first one, but when you modify it, because you copy and paste it, you know, it's not going to modify the one that's on your desktop view. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. So you limit the, like, your desktop, you put it desktop view only, right?
Exactly. So what you do is you take section 1, you copy and paste it, you make version 1 for desktop and version 2 for mobile. And then you basically have two versions of the same one, but when you are going to modify one, it's not going to affect the other one.
That makes sense. Okay, I like that. I like that. All right, thanks for that, my friend.
No problem.
That's very, very helpful information. So appreciate it. Appreciate it.
No problem, man. I see you on the Clubhouse Room in a few minutes.
Yeah, check out my landing page on your laptop if you could, and tell me your feedback if you don't mind later.
No problem. I'm going to do that right after it. Thanks, Jose.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
And guys, we open it up again. Jose reminded me to commit first and figure out the rest later. To figure out how we can do it and how you can make sure that, hey, you find new ways to do it. I didn't plan to do questions like that, but hey, the man Jose had a question. And I was like, hey, you know what, man? The goal for this show is to give value to everybody. So I'm going to do that. And that's the end of today's episode. So if you go on Clubhouse, as you can see, you can ask some really technical, really one-on-one problems you're having with me. You're basically getting a kind of a free consultation for no cost. So please join the room that's on Clubhouse. It's Marketing Commandos. Join the club Marketing Commandos so you can be notified when each shows start. And if you're on YouTube and you want to see my slides and my pretty face, you can do that as well at Gabriel Judier. We do that show every single day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we talk about how to blow up your business, blow up your pipeline with online marketing. It was Gabriel. Pleasure to do that live show with you.